Have you ever done something for the very first time? Do you remember that first kiss? Do you remember that first field trip in elementary school? I mean, do you remember the first time you walked across that stage at graduation? Do you remember the first car you purchased, or maybe that first game-winning shot if you played basketball, that first touchdown? What was the thing that you remember doing for the first time that brings you such a remembrance or joy, or it brings you a satisfaction that you just can't quite articulate with words? Now that you know what that thing is, I want to point something to you. When Moses established the covenant with the children of Israel in the middle of the wilderness, this was his first fast. This was his very first. Anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's special. And like I mentioned in past videos, you may not be a Moses or a Noah or a Daniel or Elijah, but you do have a name. And you are as important as those people. Everybody has their opportunity to serve God in fasting. It's a part of our lifestyle if you're a believer. But there's just something about that first. It points here in Exodus 20 and 18. It's talking about when Moses was establishing this covenant between God and his people. Moses was the in-between man. He was the one that was standing between God and his children. And he had to establish something with God on the behalf of them. And so Moses takes these 40 days, and he fasts and he seeks God. Maybe this is your first time fasting. Or maybe you can't remember the very first time you did fast. Either way, keep in mind that these next few weeks, you've made a covenant. You've taken the time necessary to say, okay, I'm doing without this. I'm going to sit this down. I'm going to pick this up, meaning your word, your cross, whatever that thing is, but you are establishing a covenant with God. Take it serious. I can't even think too long on, well, what would have happened if Moses, like on day 25, if he would have only gotten like maybe 5 commandments than all the commandments? I don't know. It's interesting how when we stop something, it interrupts the longevity of a thing. Don't interrupt anything, but if anything, stay committed. And if you're struggling right now, go back to week 1. Get some more wisdom, get some more understanding. Just because you checked it off doesn't mean you can't go back. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you, if you're struggling, you say, oh my goodness, this is week 2, day 2, and I am just not quite feeling it. Go back, watch again, read again, think again. You're establishing a covenant. I encourage you to stick with it.